One of the best parts of owning a Tesla is the interior aesthetic. From the minimalistic design to the futuristic controls of the infotainment display, it really offers something that you don't get in many other vehicle experiences. And part of the futuristic design that actually drew me the most is that white interior. Granted, it is optional, you can get Teslas in black, but the white really stands out from the crowd and looks awesome. There's only one problem. White is incredibly difficult to keep clean. And while the leather in these seats is nice enough that it's a pretty easy job to just wipe it down, you're still going to see dirt and grime build up on those a lot faster than you would in a darker colored seat. And especially for me that has 2 toddlers and 2 car seats in the back, they do carry in a lot of dirt and debris that I have to deal with when having these white seats. Now my solution thus far has been to have a dog cover in the back, but it really does take away from the interior aesthetic having that ugly thing tarped in my back seat. But Teslaunch has another product that they're selling to have a solution for people who want to protect the leather that's built into their seats while maintaining that quintessential Tesla aesthetic. And that comes in the form of their Prime Fit seat covers. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Max, and let's get into it. So the cover set that Teslaunch sent me includes covers for both the front passenger seat and the front driver's seat, as well as for the bench along the back, which is great. So after cleaning off my car, wiping down the seats, removing my car seats, I was good to go to start the install. And for this, I started with the front seats, both of which have pretty similar installs. So starting with the front passenger seat, I took the top cover and pulled it down and worked it over the full front of the seat. I slowly worked this down, pulling the cover down over the front seat until it was as far as I could get it down. I did have to go in the back of it and maneuver it that way as well, but definitely take your time. You want to make sure you're not tearing any seams. And after a little bit of muscle, I was able to get this into place. This does have straps on it that you can use to seal this into place, and the directions Teslaunch provides, along with the video guide that they have on their own YouTube page that I'll link below, does give you a good idea how to use these. I opted to not do that because I was comfortable with the fit I got without them, but definitely know that you can use these straps if you want to feed them through your seat to get a tighter fit. For me, I pulled this into place, I zipped the cover back up, and then I fed the loose leather into the seat crevice, giving it a nice snug fit even without the straps. From here I moved on to the bottom cushion, and in a similar way you pull it into place over the base of your front car seat. Once you get it to where you want it to, you again tuck that leather into the seam between the top and the bottom of your seat, and then go along the sides of your seat and press the leather in place along that plastic trim that runs along the perimeter of your seat. It was simply rinse and repeat with the front driver's seat, and once that was done, I could move on to the back seat. Now the back cover comes in a bunch of different pieces that we're going to go over here. The first one I did is for the larger section of the top of the seat. So to do this part, you're going to want to pull down your seat and slide it into place. Again, similar to your front, you're going to want to work the leather underneath into that crevice so it pulls through to the other side, while also pulling it down over the back, this time just having the ability to swing the seat front and forward to work in the seams. You're also going to have to work around your seatbelt buckles and around your armrest to wedge that into place, which can take some muscle and probably was one of the more difficult parts of this, but as long as you're patient and take your time, you're able to get all that into place and in a tight enough position to hold it to where it needs to be. Repeat this process for the smaller passenger side of your seat, again, popping that seat down, pulling the cover into place, and working the zipper and the various pieces of leather to get it pulled tightly into place and wrapped around the back. As these flaps go over the back, they do Velcro onto the fabric part of the seat that's in the back, so make sure you're adjusting that so you get a nice clean and even fit. From here, you want to do the bottom bench, and to make this easier, you want to use those little tabs underneath your seat to actually pop that entire bench off so that it can be removed for install. Now, if you do this, there are wires you can disconnect to completely remove the bench section. I didn't because I was able to get enough mobility without removing those wires, but if you want to have a clean pull and avoid severing those wires when you're maneuvering that bench around, definitely recommended to actually fully unplug that so you can actually take that seat out and do this install completely disconnected from your vehicle. For this, you pull the leather over the top, and here's where I actually did use the straps as I wrapped them around the bottom of the seat, tightening them up to make sure that was really nice and gripped down and covering up the seat. When I was done, I snapped it back into place. And with that, the install was complete, and here's the full look. Now, when I did this, I opted to go with the white leather look because that is Tesla to me, and that is what I thought looked the best. I also chose it in the leather that would look the most similar to the base model seats, because ultimately what I was looking for was not to change the style, it was to just protect while maintaining the aesthetic that I had with the normal seats. And I think these do a really nice job of doing that. If you are someone that is looking to spruce up the style or add a different color tone, you can definitely do that. They have a ton of different colors. I'll show some of them now on the screen that you can choose from on their site. So if you want to change up whatever you purchased in color or style, you can definitely do that with this product. For me, this is a much better look than that mat in the back to protect my seats. So now I don't really have to worry about with my kids climbing around, them permanently damaging the leather in the back while they're young. I know it's getting preserved and still looks pretty much like factory seats when you take a glance back there. Now I will say, when looking at these fully installed, you can tell that they're not just your factory seats without a cover. There are several areas where you can see wrinkles, creases, or fabric that doesn't sit quite flush to the seats themselves, where it's visually noticeable while not being noticeable when you're sitting in them in terms of comfort or feel of the seats. Those wrinkles are there, and my hope is that over time, as they are on the seats longer, they'll work themselves out, but you will notice them if you're looking for them in the vehicle. They also have on the front seats these perforations to allow air to pass through. This makes sense so that air doesn't get trapped behind there and create some awkward kind of feel. But it does have a slightly different look if you're looking close enough. Also, because of the way the front seats are designed, the cover actually completely covers that plastic panel and pouch that's on the back of the seats, giving the back of the seats a completely white leather look, or whatever color you go with. For me, I actually like this. My kids love to kick the back of the seats and scuff up that plastic, so having this extra layer of protection on there means that they won't be damaging the plastic that is stuck on the car, and they still have a pouch on them, so I still get the versatility of having that storage option, so I don't lose that with these seat covers. And even with some of the creases and everything else that I mentioned, if you were walking up to my Tesla and you were looking in through the glass, or if you're just someone who happened to be hopping in for a quick ride, I doubt you would ever notice them, and you're definitely gonna notice them far less than you would if I had had the previous seat covers on to keep the vehicle safe for my kids. All in all, I think this is a great product for someone who is trying to either change up the look of their Tesla to get a different color, or just wants to protect their seats. They're incredibly comfortable covers. I don't notice any difference in the ride quality with them on. They're incredibly cushiony. It doesn't take away from the feel of driving the Tesla, and it still maintains the white look that I wanted out of this car when I purchased it to begin with. So yeah, if you're someone that's looking for that added protection, or definitely someone who has kids that are climbing through their car all the time, then definitely look no further than Teslaunch's Prime Fit seat covers. There were some other accessories that I opted not to use as a part of this install because I didn't think they were necessary, such as some headrest covers and a center console cover. I personally like the contrasting black leather on my center console, so I kept that off, but it does come with those extra pieces if you're looking to cover every inch of the leather in your car with a protective coating, all in that package. And these seat covers right now for the entire set that I displayed on this video are now on sale for $309.99, which really isn't that bad and much cheaper than it'd be if you got some kind of protective coating on your leather seats to keep them from getting stained. I think it's definitely worth the consideration and worth checking them out. If you are interested, I'll include links to Teslaunch's full website and the specific product in the description down below. I'll also again include links to their video install so you can see a real in-depth look of all the different things that you want to consider doing when installing these seats. I used it for my install and it was incredibly helpful. Thank you, Teslaunch, for sending me this product to do a review. But yeah, that's all I had to really talk about today. If you did like this video and want to see more, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to see more. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.